Oh, yeah. In studio this time for another Extra Bases with Bristol and Booth. Jason Bristol, Jeremy Booth here at the KHOU 11 News Studios. It's good to see you, Jeremy. And it's good to see you with, oh, wow, what a surprise. You're wearing a baseball jacket.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
How
too.
on brand.
Well, you know, it's not just a baseball jacket. It's it's got that MB on it. So.
Yes. Today on the big program, something which was mentioned on the last podcast, which people don't even bat an eye at anymore. And number two, Jeremy Booth once threatening to kill an umpire. It is all ahead on Extra Bases.
I don't know if murder is exactly right, but
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. All righty.
I can't wait to hear you read the story, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I understand the tweet or the text.
Yeah, I texted him. I said, boy, I've got some good stuff for you.
Where'd you find that?
Dude, you got me down a rabbit hole. But anyways,
okay.
Let's start with this.
All right.
Last week on Extra Bases, you sent a message to Joe Espada, Andrew Ball, and Dana Brown saying, listen, leave Yordan Alvarez alone, but also leave him out of the number 2 spot. Now, last year, rewind a year ago, you mentioned something similar, and Astros Nation on social media went crazy. What do you mean? He's the best hitter. You got to bat him second, blah, blah, blah. This time we posted it. Let me hear the crickets noise. Yep. Jeremy, no one reacted.
Nary a soul. Not a sound.
Not one person.
Not one person. It was good.
What does that tell you?
It tells me the experts are waking up. You know, they're waking up. They're realizing that wins matter. Wins matter. And if you're winning games a certain way, you don't argue. By the way, you've learned not to argue. I like that. That's a good start to 2025. Yordan should not hit second. You guys didn't make a sound. Even a couple other, I don't know, experts. Call them I like the expert because it fits. The expert.
Yeah.
You know,
X.
Yeah. Did some stuff, posted some things out there. I had to correct them. There was no pushback there. You know, it's interesting. It's almost as if, almost as if you figured it out. That's good. Congratulations. Only took you 8 years. All right, we're here.
Then I'm coming into work on Sunday and I'm listening to the Astros broadcast.
Yeah.
And I have to play it for you.
Okay.
I can't play it on the podcast, but I will give people a Cliff's Notes version of what was said.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this for Jeremy, and then I'll come back on the other side, and then we will discuss. All right, so I played it for Jeremy, and now you can see Jeremy's reaction. Let me paraphrase, and this was good stuff. And it's not about the messengers, it's about the message. Steve Sparks and Robert Ford on the Astros broadcast were talking about Isaac Paredes batting second, and that Isaac takes a lot of pitches. Behind him is Yordan Alvarez batting third, and Robert Ford makes the comment that, listen, he thinks, or he believes, or it seems as though Yordan Alvarez is a guy who likes to have a lot of information when he comes to the plate. So that's the benefit of having a guy like Isaac Paredes batting in front of him. What did we have last year, Jeremy? We had, at times, Jose Altuve, who typically does not take a lot of pitches.
Doesn't take swinging early and often.
And then Yordan comes up in the number 2 hole.
With nobody on base.
And Isaac Paredes actually got on base during this at bat, and then the comment was made, this is just exactly how Joe Espada would like to draw it up. You get Paredes on, and then Yordan at the plate.
Hold on a second. I got a little objection to that. This is how, who's that guy? Jeremy Booth wanted to draw it up. You guys sit there and you talk about, got to take pitches. He's got to hit second. We got to you get guys on base. I told you this a year ago, but no, we got to argue. Like, we got to have discussions, got to have staff meetings. We got to send tweets, smoke signals, text messages on the backside, clown poses. Guy's a clown, just all this makeup. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's like the sports media here, and just stay with me here. I got you on my back, yo. Like I told you he hits third. I told you don't hit him second. And what do we got? Put a guy ahead of him, like when they had, I don't know, Alex Bregman hitting second. And how's it work out? Just the way Joe Espada drew it up. A week ago, Joe had no idea who was going to hit second. 2 weeks ago, he had no idea who was going to hit second.
To be honest with you, I don't know right now if he truly has, if he's definitely on board with Yordan batting third, because Yordan has batted second in at least one game I can think of this spring. So maybe it was just a situation they wanted to get him more at bats.
I'm going to say this, and I mean this with all respect, is that if you win a certain way and you go away from that winning ways, you shouldn't be managing. You shouldn't be analyzing, you shouldn't be managing, and you shouldn't be GMing. And I love Dana. I do. I know we just met yesterday, me and Dana, but I love Dana. And Dana knows what it looks like. Now, look, you got your chance. You got your chance last year to see how it worked out, and it didn't work out well.
The numbers were the numbers. They were 42 and 26 with Yordan Alvarez batting third and Alex Bregman batting second. And listen, I don't know if the quality of opponents were the same as previous parts of the season, but Kyle Tucker wasn't even in the lineup.
I mean,
he wasn't even in the lineup. And then when either Yordan or Kyle Tucker were batting second, they were under 500, which is what someone told me before the season. You want to win games and championships, or you want a guy to have good numbers batting in the 2-hole?
Remember that clip? It was on Sports Extra, was it not?
It was.
Can you this might be a good time to play it.
Okay, here we go.
I think that while some of these pieces are interchangeable, you'll see the comfort level, the energy, the excitement come back once they're able to play productive baseball and win games. No one likes losing. And for all the stuff we see on, is it X? What are we calling it X?
I still call it Twitter.
Formerly known as Twitter.
For all the stuff we see on X, do you guys want to hit somebody second and have a bunch of L's, or do you want somebody second and have another parade? To me, that's just the way I look at it.
And there it is. I just hate I hate going backwards like this, but I just couldn't believe.
It's called receipts.
Yeah, it is called receipts.
Oh, man.
But it was just very interesting. I had to pull over the car when I heard this because it makes total sense.
I can only imagine you.
It makes total sense what Robert Ford and Steve Sparks were talking about.
Oh, does it?
Total sense.
Oh, congratulations. Baseball 202. It's like it's not your first.
It was problem 201.
No, yeah, but this is baseball 202. Oh yeah, that's right. The two peoples. Yeah, them peoples with them names. Them. They got a lot to say. They have a lot to say. Where are you at? Where are you talking about it now? Are they talking still? I don't know. Don't think so. And I don't care. So when it comes back to what they're doing, the Astros want to win. The lineup that they have to put them in the best position to score. What's that thing you do when you circle the bases? Runs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to score runs. So congratulations to Joe Espada for figuring it out with Isaac Paredes, exactly the way you drew it up. And good Lord willing, things will work out.
Are you okay with Isaac Paredes batting second?
I like the reasoning of him taking lots of pitches. That's a reason. I'm still a Pena guy, like a guy who can run a little bit in that spot.
Now, I asked Joe, and we've talked about this. It didn't seem like they are. They believe some of his skills don't translate well in that number 2 hole. Yeah, now, granted, it translated pretty well in 2022, but
I don't have any argument there. My position on it is still going to be that if you put somebody there in the 2 spot, it's got to be for the right reasons. And Alvarez getting the most at bats in that spot is not the right reason. You got to have somebody up there who takes pitches, somebody up there who can run, handle the bat. Those are all good reasons to do it. But just because he's your, quote, best hitter, which he is, and hit him in the second spot just because you think that's the right move, that's a very myopic analytical view, and you should be whoever did that should no longer be working.
All right, and now on to the main portion of our
program.
I
got to hear. This I got to hear, man. That's a long time ago.
So I think it was last week when we were talking about, yes, it was last week you had mentioned about umpiring and how the ABS system, and that if I remember correctly, that you have been on the wrong side of some bad calls.
I've been hard on umpires, yeah.
You've been hard on umpires.
I'm hard on.
So I got curious about this. So I Googled, I have an account, newspapers.com.
Okay.
And I Googled Jeremy Booth, I put in the search engine, Jeremy Booth and ejected.
Okay. What'd you get?
Man. You had quite the interesting career with the Madison Black Wolf.
Oh, yeah, that didn't happen that way. I remember this one.
In fact, Jeremy Booth, and this has an Astros tie because you were
Oh,
playing
man.
Winnipeg,
yeah,
who was managed
Hal
by Hal Lanier, former Astros manager.
yeah. I remember that.
Unfortunately, according to this first,
I got tossed twice in 3 nights.
yep, there you go. You got tossed. Not only did Jeremy get tossed twice in 3 nights, what's really disappointing to me that only 478 people were there to see it.
I mean, you know, Midwest.
I don't know. Are you the first bullpen catcher to be ejected?
you know what
And not only were you a bullpen catcher, had you even seen action in a game yet for that team before you got
no,
tossed?
I think I played the first night I played. I think that's what it was. And then
here it says should I read it first?
I just got there. But you know, I just got there and I think I played the first night.
Can I read what it says?
Sure.
This is the Madison Black Wolf and the Winnipeg Golden
Wait a
Eyes of
minute.
the
I
Northern League.
remember the story now. Okay, go ahead.
Well, there was 2 of them. There's 2
I remember
stories.
both of them. Go ahead.
The first one, this first game, which was on July 6th, a Monday.
I was playing that game.
The game was marred by an incident in the 8th inning when Al Gallagher, your manager, and newly acquired catcher Jeremy Booth were ejected after a misunderstanding between Gallagher and third base umpire Ryan Fenton.
I remember Ryan.
Gallagher motioned to the bullpen for a right-handed pitcher, and Fenton thought he called for the left-hander. In the ensuing confusion, both parties were ejected. Says Hal Lanier, the manager of the Gold Eyes, I've never seen that where the bullpen catcher gets ejected. Knock on wood, but I've never done that yet.
Yeah,
and it really doesn't give much of why you were ejected.
I tell you why. I know what I said.
Okay.
So one night was the bullpen.
All right. So if you're going to go, then I got to go to the next game.
All right, what's the next one? Go ahead.
Because I think you got them out of order.
Okay, maybe that was 1 and 3. Because I know I played one of these games. I remember what it was about.
So then on Wednesday, July 8th, this is 2 days after that first incident.
Yeah.
This is from the Wisconsin State Journal.
This is great.
Although it was Wolfstock night at Warner Park with the Madison Black Wolf decked in bluish-purple tie-dye jerseys, peace and love was perhaps the first... Peace and love was perhaps the furthest thing from anyone's mind. The only trip Madison Black Wolf manager Al Gallagher and catcher Jeremy Booth went on was an early trip to the showers.
Oh, great.
Both were ejected for the second time in 3 games by the same umpire.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, that was a pretty good find, too. Oh, man.
In the bottom of the 7th, with the Gold Eyes up 9-2, Booth pinch hit for starting catcher Gilberto Reyes, who was a big leaguer. He played with the Dodgers.
Yeah.
On the first pitch from Winnipeg's Greg Press, the bat nearly slipped out of Booth's hands when he swung. Booth then turned to home plate umpire Ryan Fenton, called time, and walked back to the dugout. Now, here's Jeremy Booth. Here's his direct quote. I told him, hey, I'm going to get pine tar. And he said, no. I kept walking because I didn't think I heard him right. And he said, no pine tar. Pine tar. I turned around and said, you got to be kidding me. This went on for a couple of seconds. I turned around, walked back to the box, and without looking at him again, said, look, this bat's going to slip out of my hands if I don't get some pine tar, and somebody's going to get killed.
That's exactly what I said.
He tossed me right there.
Right on the spot.
Gallagher comes out of the dugout, and things soon became heated between him, Fenton, and Gallagher was booted. When I asked the umpire why he kicked Jeremy out, he told me because he wanted to go get pine tar.
That's about right.
The partners then, his umpire partners, got there. Fenton, according to Al Gallagher, changed his story and said he threw out Jeremy because Jeremy threatened to kill him.
Yeah.
So when he changed his story, Gallagher said, you just like to be a liar, don't you? Somebody's going to knock you on your rear, he said.
Oh, yeah.
And then the umpire said, you're threatening me, you're out of here too.
Yeah, that's Al.
It's apparent not only is he a horrible umpire, but his command of the English language is such that he doesn't understand somebody is not directed. Is not a directed personal comment and doesn't mean I threatened him.
Yeah, that's
Monday night, Gallagher and Booth were ejected by Fenton in a dispute about which relief pitcher Gallagher was signaling to come into the game. Oh, more quotes from Jeremy.
Oh, what you got?
I was so stunned that he threw me out again. I had nothing to say. The matter of The fact of the matter is it was personal. The fact of the matter is it was personal. The league office didn't even find me last time.
Right.
It was so stupid.
That's right. So what happened the first
Oh
time?
my God, this is gold,
Right,
Jeremy.
yeah, so
This is gold. It's a shame that only 1,000 or 500 people are at these games because I would love to see the video.
So what happened was I got there. I was in the bullpen. I think I just got there. So you're right. I had it mixed up. I just got there. I mean, I just got there.
And that's why I wanted to tell the other story, because I was worried that you would put the one ejection in front of the other.
Yeah. So I was in the bullpen. I was just got there, getting catching pitchers, getting used to them. When I got there, Gil was played forever. And so at Noakesy, Matt Noakes, who I've been with earlier in the year, played with forever too. And so I was going there to play. I was going there to be taught, and Gil was going to teach me how to play the games. 21 years old, learn how to play. This guy comes down to the bullpen to get the wrong pitcher, and I said it was with Al, like he got the right-hander, so he wanted. Or it might have been Scott Derrimer. I forget who the guy was going to come in. Derrimer was 95 with heavy sink, and might have been Scott. Anyway, I said he wants this guy, and he goes, no, he does. He's getting the lefty. I said, he doesn't want the lefty. He's got this guy. And he goes, he's getting the lefty. I said, how old are you? He was like 19 years old. He goes, you're out of here. I was like, what? For how old you are? So that was at the end of the game. You have to do a report. And Al said, he asked him how old he was. And Al said he messed it up on purpose. And no big deal. Everybody's kind of amazed. The next 2 days, I go up to hit. And I was like, you ready to go hit? I'm like, yeah, because I had an impingement in my arm. So I was working my way back through it. So I go up to go hit. And he goes, I took a swing. Bat almost fell out of my hands. And I said, I got to get some pine tar so I don't.
I can totally hear you saying
yeah,
that too.
I got some pine tar because it's going to come out. And he goes, no. It's like, what? I'm going to get some pine tar. Like, no. And he goes, no pine tar. I'm like, that's not real, right? I said, that's not real. He goes, no pine tar. Okay, get back in the box. I'm taking my, half swing. And as I pick the bat up, I say basically exactly that. If I don't get pine tar, this bat's going to slip out of my hand and somebody's going to get killed. And he goes, you're gone. I said, for what? I want to get pine tar so I don't hurt anybody. And then Al goes, what did you do? He goes, what did you do? I said, I told him I had to get some pine tar. He goes, you're kidding me. He goes to Fenton. He goes, what did he do? He said, he told me he's got to get some pine tar. And I'm just like this at this point. I got arms up. Like, what are we doing? People are going nuts. Al got tossed with me. It was great. But that was a fun one. That was a fun one. Ryan Fenton was like 19 or 20 years old. He was younger than me. I was like, how old are you? You're gone. Okay.
I would love to find Ryan Fenton. In fact, I found one in Minnesota. I would love to
probably him.
I would love to have him come on one of these days.
How old is he?
I can't. That doesn't say.
It's probably him, because that league, it was Minnesota, Wisconsin.
Area.
Yeah, it's probably him.
Maybe would you be opposed for me to have him come on?
No, that'd be interesting.
That'd be great.
Hey man, remember when you tossed me for getting pine tar?
What was it like playing for Al Gallagher? I mean, you had just gotten there,
just got there.
So he didn't really know anything about you.
I mean,
let me rephrase it. He knew about you, but he hadn't seen you.
No, he'd seen me play.
Oh, he had?
Yeah, yeah. He'd seen me play. We knew what he was getting.
Did he really know?
No, he knew what he was getting. But I went over there and
Dirty Al, I think was his nickname.
Dirty Al because he never showered.
Oh, wait.
That's why.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's from Texas. Was living in Texas. I want to say he died in Corpus.
Well, he's from California, actually.
Okay, but he was living in Texas.
He died in Fresno, but he had been, in 1977, he managed the Texas City Stars, which is not that far from here, in the Lone Star League. And I think that's where he got his nickname.
Dirty Al?
Dirty Al.
He got his nickname, I thought, in playing with the Giants, because his uniform was always dirty.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, and so, but when I played for him, the guy never showered. Like, he legitimately never showered. It was unbelievable. But he loved players. He loved the game. Last I heard, he was managing in Texas somewhere. I mean, Corpus, Robstown.
It looked like in 2007 he was playing for the managing for the. He was with the Kansas City T-Bones, and then he died in 2018.
Yeah,
at the age of 73. He was in the American Association in 2007, and then the team disbanded. But he's a former major leaguer. In fact, he does have a very unique distinction in Major League history.
What's that?
He is the first native San Franciscoian, or first San Francisco native to play for the Giants.
Interesting. It makes sense. He played with Mays. He said Mays was his favorite player, so he wore 24. That was an interesting group, the Madison group. We actually were pretty tight. We all kept in touch. Dan Grice and Scott Derrimer, Brent Derrimer, David Tokheim, Who else?
He
who
played
else?
a while in
Toke
the
played a while, yeah.
independent leagues, right?
Yeah, well, Toke was a UCLA guy,
Okay.
so Toke played a while. Who else was on that team?
We're talking 98, so this is 98 Madison
Yeah,
Black
yeah,
Wolf. I'm pulling it up.
Read me some names.
I'm pulling it up here, but yeah, this is the best part of what I get to do sometimes is I love to I tend to just spring things on Jeremy because I want his natural reaction. It's no fun for us to talk about this offline, if you will, or outside of these walls.
Darren Everson.
I want Donald Harris was on that team, former first-round pick.
Yep. Chad Roper was on that team.
Let's see. The big leaguers on that team are the only two were Gilberto Reyes and Donald Harris. But also, you mentioned Chad Roper. He was on that team.
Roper played third.
Also made an appearance as a pitcher, which not surprising. You said Everson?
Darren played first. Yeah. Wisconsin guy.
Yeah.
Toke played right. I want to say Grice played second or short.
Daniel Grice is in here as a shortstop.
Yeah, played short. And then
guess who had the most home runs for that team that year?
Who?
Donald Harris had 18. This is 98.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who played center? What outfielders you got?
Looks like Harris was in center field, right field.
Yeah.
Your other outfielders were Rod Williams.
Rodney. Yeah, Rodney's in Texas now. He lives here.
David Francisco, Jesus Campos. But again, I don't know if they were at the same time you were there.
Yeah, Rodney was
Duke
there.
Baxter? No, it's an infielder.
Rodney lives in San Antonio. He's there. Yeah. He actually had this kid in one of my events. He goes, hey, you remember me? I'm like, it's been years. He goes, Rodney Williams. Like, what's up, man? It's just Rod was there with us too.
Well, now you'll have something to say when you see these guys. Hey, remember the time when I was thrown out twice in 3 games?
When this clip gets posted, I'm gonna tag all the Black Wolf from that. Eves and Rod and Durham. Durham's got a kid's pretty good. I want to say it's Justin. It's pretty good. 94, 95, Sync. Something we saw early. Scott's in Nebraska now, so probably going to invite Justin to our junior college All-American games.
Yeah, I saw that you posted. Was it a retrospective of events or
that's coming?
Okay.
Yeah, we've had to get through some
challenges.
That's a good way to say it. I had to get through some challenges and course correct on some people not following through they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
And so we've had to reboot a little bit, continue to go forward, but yeah, Durham's kid Justin's pretty good.
All right, everybody. If you want more stories like this, let us know.
That was a good one.
And I also found another one that I'll save for another time.
What?
No, I'll save it for another time because we're going long right now.
How many ejections did you find?
I found 3. This was 2. I don't want to go down this road because I don't want to give it away.
That was very hard on umpires.
In fact, I went looking for this guy.
I bet you did.
I went looking for this guy, and I found out his son is playing baseball now, but not. Let me rephrase that. His son played collegiately for a little bit, but
the umpire that threw me out.
No, it wasn't an umpire. It was directed at another player. But anyways, you had some choice words for him. But that's a good tease for next time.
Okay.
All right, everybody.
Me? Choice words? Are you kidding me? I had something to say.
It's amazing. You were auditioning for this role all the way back then.
I just, speaking my mind, it's kind of part of what it is. So, anyway.
Oh, man. Gosh, I wish there was video of that.
Some of it was fun.
I was so stunned that he threw me out again. I had nothing to say. Imagine that. Jeremy Booth had nothing to say.
I mean, you're telling me I can't get pine tar on a baseball bat in Wisconsin when it's wet. What do you want me to do? Swing a wood bat and water? You got to be kidding. Of course I'm going to go ahead and get some pine tar.
Fenton, who would not comment after the game.
Oh, imagine that. Change your story twice.
Gallagher then said, it's frustrating when a man lies. This guy should lose his job.
Dirty Al went for it. I don't know what Ryan's doing now, but I remember that. That was it because twice in 3 nights, same cat. Can I get some I need to get some pine tar. I said, I'm going to get pine tar. I didn't ask. I said, I'm going to get pine tar. No, you're not. What?
All right, Ryan, if this gets shared with you, please contact me so we can have you on because I think it'd be fun. I mean, bygones are bygones. It's how many years ago.
And I still don't know how old you are.
The beauty of the internet. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for Extra Bases for Jeremy Booth, who did not threaten to kill an umpire.
No.
I know we led with that, but he did not.
I'm trying to be safety conscious. This guy's like, no. Okay.
All right, everybody, till next time.
Anyway.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.